Your dog isn't avoiding you, they're trying to warn you. That moment when your dog suddenly starts sleeping in a different room, or flinches when you reach for them, or just stops coming to greet you at the door. Most owners think they did something wrong. Most owners blame themselves. Most owners spend nights replaying every interaction wondering where the warmth went. And most owners miss the real reason entirely. And scientists who study canine behavioral psychology have identified something they call a displacement response, one of the most misread signals in the entire human-dog relationship. And it doesn't mean your dog is upset with you. It means something deeper is happening, something your dog may have already detected before you even knew to look. Because dogs process the world through a completely different sensory architecture than we do. They're not reading your words, they're not reading your face the way another human would. They're reading the chemical version of you, the electromagnetic version of you, the version of you that exists before you even know something is wrong. And there are documented cases studied in peer-reviewed journals of dogs withdrawing from their owners weeks before a major health event, before a diagnosis, before a collapse, before anything visible appeared on any scan or showed up in any blood test. The dog knew, and the dog, in the only language it had tried to tell them, tried in the only way it could, with distance, with stillness, with a pair of eyes watching from across the room. So when a dog suddenly avoids you, the first instinct for almost every owner is guilt. Did I raise my voice? Did I forget their walk? Are they punishing me? But dogs don't punish, that's a human behavior. Dogs respond, dogs react. And when a dog begins pulling away, they are not withholding affection. They are processing information, because your dog has been running a continuous scan of your body and your environment since the moment you woke up this morning. Heart rate, skin chemistry, gait, breathing pattern, cortisol levels in your sweat, the micro tension in your jaw and your shoulders, reading all of it passively and automatically, the way you breathe without thinking. And what happens when that scan picks up something your dog doesn't recognize, something that doesn't match the version of you they have memorized over months and years of devotion? That's when the withdrawal begins, not because they don't love you, but because the data coming off your body has changed. And dogs, when confused or alarmed by a signal they cannot resolve, do the only logical thing. They create distance, they watch, they wait. They hold the information quietly inside them, the way only a creature without language can. And here's the part that makes researchers pause. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors, while humans have about 6 million. And that isn't just a sharper version of what we experience, it is an entirely different sense, a completely separate dimension of reality that we will never fully access. A dog smelling the air in your home isn't noticing what you notice. They are reading a chemical narrative, who was here, what they felt, what their body was producing, whether any of it has changed since yesterday, whether you have changed since yesterday. And studies from the Penn Vet Working Dog Centre and separately from researchers in Italy and the UK have shown that dogs can detect certain cancers, lung, breast, ovarian, with accuracy rates exceeding 90%. But here's the part that doesn't get enough attention. The dogs in these studies weren't specially selected. Many were ordinary pets, family dogs, the kind of dog asleep on your couch right now. And they weren't detecting cancer because they were trained to. They were detecting it because that is what their biology does, quietly, constantly, without ever being asked. And researchers have also documented dogs detecting the early chemical signatures of seizures, sometimes 45 minutes before they occur. Dogs alerting to diabetic hypoglycemia before a glucometer would catch it. Dogs changing their behavior around people experiencing the early hormonal shifts of depression before the person themselves had identified what was wrong, before they had even admitted it to themselves in the dark at 3 in the morning. So when your dog pulls away, the question isn't what did I do wrong? The question is what has your dog already picked up that you haven't yet? But there's a second possibility, one that's even harder to sit with, because not every withdrawal is a warning about your health. Some of it is about their health, emotional health. Because dogs don't just absorb information from the world, they absorb it from you. They are built for it, shaped by thousands of years of evolution to be the most finely tuned emotional receivers on the planet. And when you are running on stress, on disrupted sleep, on buried grief, or on the low-grade anxiety that modern life narrates constantly and quietly like a frequency no one talks about, your dog feels every bit of it. And think about the last time your life felt genuinely turbulent, a relationship under strain, a job grinding you down, a loss you hadn't fully processed yet, a version of yourself you didn't quite recognize anymore. Did your dog change during that time? Did they seem more restless, more clingy, or more distant? Because dogs experiencing secondary emotional stress don't always come closer. Sometimes they retreat, not from you but from the signal, trying to regulate themselves the way any sensitive creature does when the environment becomes too saturated with emotion it cannot name or fix. And your dog mirrors your nervous system not metaphorically, but neurologically. Because research on the canine-human bond published in the journal Science confirmed that dogs and their owners synchronize cortisol levels over time, your stress biology becomes their stress biology, your body's quiet emergency becomes their quiet emergency, which means the distance they're creating might actually be the most loving thing they can do. They are not leaving you, they are protecting themselves so they can come back to you stronger. And now the harder possibility. Sometimes a dog withdrawing from you is a mirror not of your body chemistry, not of your stress levels, but of the relationship itself. Because dogs are exquisitely sensitive to consistency, to the rhythm of being loved, and when that rhythm breaks, when routines dissolve, when attention fragments, when the person they have built their entire emotional world around becomes emotionally unavailable even while standing in the same room, dogs don't act out, they don't bark or destroy things out of spite. They fade quietly, incrementally, in a way that looks from the outside like stubbornness or mood or a personality shift you can't quite explain. And the tragedy is that this is the one cause most owners never diagnose because it requires the hardest question of all. Have I been present? Not physically in the house, but genuinely present, emotionally available, with intention, with eye contact and touch, and the quality of attention your dog knew before life got complicated and loud and full of everything except the floor and a warm hand and nowhere else to be. And what researchers call the reconnection window is critical here, because dogs don't hold resentment. They cannot. Their neurological architecture doesn't support it, which means the distance they've created is not a wall, but an open door that requires only one thing from you, a return, a deliberate, consistent return to the quality of connection that existed before everything got in the way. Because a 15-minute session of intentional engagement, not distracted, not half watching your phone, not half present in a body that's really somewhere else, but genuinely quietly, completely there, produces measurable hormonal shifts in both the dog and the owner within the first 7 minutes. Oxytocin, the same bonding hormone released between a mother and a newborn, rising in both of you simultaneously, as if the relationship itself has a biology, as if love between a human and a dog is not just emotional but chemical and real and measurable and true. Your dog has not forgotten you. They are waiting in the only way they know how for the version of you they fell in love with to come back. So the next time your dog drifts, next time they choose the corner instead of the couch, or pause at the door instead of rushing through it, or rest their chin somewhere just out of reach, sit down on the floor, not the couch, the floor, let them come to you, give them the choice. 'Cause choice, the act of choosing you freely without command or coercion or a treat in your hand, is the whole language of the canine heart. It always has been. Your dog has been reading you since the day they arrived, every mood, every fear, every quiet Tuesday when everything was fine and you still reached down to scratch their ear without thinking about it. And the distance, the withdrawal, the space they've placed between themselves and you. It is not abandonment, it is not rejection. It is the oldest, truest, most patient question a dog knows how to ask. Are you okay? Because I noticed before you did. I've been watching since the beginning, and I never once looked away.